All right, I'm off to a bad start because I forgot to add 20-second setup, but we're going to go anyway. So single side, opposite knee crunch, child's pose, hip opener starting in plank. I'm gonna go opposite knee to elbow, rock back to child's pose so your butt comes to your ankles, and then we're gonna go into a split down dog, bending at one knee, and then letting that knee turn towards the inside or the midline of our body, feeling that nice stretch throughout the hip. So we're gonna do 30 seconds on one side. We're about to switch. Okay, nice work. We're off to a good start. Let's switch sides. Okay, let's come down to the floor for this one. So on our butt, legs are out wide, arms are out wide in a T formation. We're going to warm up the abdominals, our quadriceps, the hip flexors. This one is a little bit more challenging than it looks. We're just going to twist our torso and then tap opposite hand to foot, keeping a nice straight spine, strong core, and a proud chest. Okay, let's get funky with some bird dog. So we are coming up to a high plank position and we're going to extend opposite arm leg with a nice straight spine, strong core. And then from there, if you want, you don't have to add this one in, but I'm just going to do a little hop off of the planted foot. Opposite leg comes through and extends across my body as I pull the opposite elbow back. And we'll be here for 30 seconds on one side. We'll switch at half time. If you need modifications, just drop to all fours so knees are on the ground and extend opposite arm leg, leaving out the kick through. Good stuff. Let's switch sides. Okay, so let's warm up the lower body and our core, coming into a stance about hip width apart. Weight is in our heels. We're going to lower down into a squat. As we do so, we're going to roll our shoulders back and drop them down. And then we're going to have our chest come up nice and high, so proud chest. And then as we come back up to standing, we're going to hollow out our body. So sucking that belly into the spine. Our shoulders will come forward, and then we'll just repeat that at our own pace. right, hopefully you are off to a good start. Go grab some water and I'll see you in about 30 seconds. All right, welcome back. Let's get down on the mat. So we're coming onto our back, lifting our legs slightly off of the mat. We're going to tuck our chin in, press our belly button into our spine, and then from there we're just going to go into some lateral leg kicks. So we're getting the abdominals here. Come up for breaks. We're here for the minute. All right, let's come up to standing for some knee to elbow chops. So we're going to stand in a staggered stance. One hand is behind my head, elbow is wide, and then the back leg just comes up. So we're going to drive that knee up so that it makes contact with the opposite elbow. And then if you want, you can just swing the opposite arm to get that momentum. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. Good stuff, that's halfway. Let's switch sides. All right, let's go in for our bench tuck lay back combo. So grab your bench or whatever elevated surface you're using. We're going to sit down, planting our hands beside our hips. We're going to use our abdominals, our arms, our shoulders to lift our buttocks off of the bench a couple inches. We'll hang out there for a bit, really utilizing our stabilizer muscles. And then we're going to sit back down on our bench, lean back into that V-sit, extending your legs with a proud chest. We'll be there for a couple seconds and then repeat. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the bench for a second, come back into our bear. So a 90-degree bend at the knees, keeping your knees off of the mat, nice straight spine. And then we're just going to do an internal rotations or a torso swivel. As we twist in towards the midline of our body, our hip comes and faces the ground, and then we pull the opposite elbow up towards the ceiling. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. All right, nice work. Same thing, other side. All right, glutes and hamstrings. So we're coming back to the mat. So we're lying on our back. Our feet come up to our buttocks. We're going to press up into a bridge press. So your hips are coming nice and high, squeezing your glutes. Once you're at full elevation, I want you to keep your hips lifted as your heels walk out. So I'm going to take 4 steps in front and then bring those feet back in. We'll lower the hips, raise again, and repeat. Okay, let's go into some lunges. We're going to do elevated lunges, nothing too fancy here. You'll just grab your elevated surface. We're going to put one foot, so the top of one foot goes on your bench. The other foot is planted firmly in front of you. So get your balance first. You want to focus on all of that weight in the front foot. From there, we're just going to hinge forward with a nice straight spine, and we'll start doing our lunge pulses, 30 seconds on one side. Okay, you should be feeling the burn in your quads and glutes. Time to switch sides. All right, let's go into our reverse frog hyper. So I'm going to grab my bench. I want my belly on the bench. My hips are at the end of the bench, and then I'm just going to hold on to the front to stabilize myself. Bottoms of our feet are together. And then from there, keeping our knees wide, we're just going to use our glutes to pull our feet up, squeeze your glutes, and then lower slow. All right, a little bit more frog bridge presses, but in a different position. So we're just coming onto our back. Again, the bottom of our feet are together, and we'll just place those on top of our bench, and pretty straightforward here. Just lift your hips up until you get that nice squeeze in your glutes, and lower nice and slow. All right, tricep time. So grab your bench. We're going to plant our hands by our hips. Our elbows are going to come directly behind us. Our butt kind of just hangs there. We're on our heels, so there's a slight bend in the knees, and then not a lot of weight in those heels. We want our arms to be doing most of the work. So I'm coming in for about 3 tricep dips, and then I'm just going to step up, plant my feet about hip width apart, come in for 3 squat pulses, and repeat. All right, let's keep building that 6-pack. So more abdominals in this one. We are going to sit back on our bench. So we're coming into that V sit with a nice proud chest. Our spine is straight, and then our legs are elevated and straight. And then we'll just go in for alternating knee tucks. And then we will bring our legs together, bring them up to our chest for a V up, and repeat. We'll be here for the minute. All right, great start, you guys. Take a little break. See you in about 30 seconds. All right, we are back on the mat. So first off, we're going to start with a full extension. So we're going to place our feet on the ground, straight legs, arms overhead. Come in, we're going to kind of lift up into that V up. And then from there, we're going to roll onto our forearm. So we're going to come to our side forearm, coming into that nice side plank. And then we're just going to make contact, top elbow to the top knee. And that's halfway, switch sides. Okay, let's keep going. I know you're getting nice and sweaty. So we are going to come up into that high plank. Going in for 3 mountain climbers. We're going to crunch those knees in. On the third one, we're just going to twist our hip to the midline of our body so that our hip faces the ground, getting that nice twist in the obliques. next one is a lot, so follow along. All right, so we're starting in high plank. I am bringing my left foot under and across my body and planting it onto the opposite side. And then the top leg is going to then kick across, tapping the arm of the same side. Now, you can leave it at that, or you can go further. So as we bring our top leg back into position, we hop off of the planted foot and then switch positions of our feet. So now that top foot is planted on the ground, and finally come into a kick through with the left foot. Got it? All right, that's halfway. So if your brain can handle it, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I love these compound moves. They're frustrating, but I also feel like we're getting a great mental workout as well as a physical one. All right, next up, we are going to work the quads, the glutes, the shoulders. So I'm gonna grab my bench in this one. We're going in for like a lateral lunge, but an elevated lateral lunge. So I'm gonna start by planting my left heel onto the bench, and then my weight goes on the opposite side. So weight is in my right hand. Just keep it on top of that shoulder. And then I'm gonna put all of the weight on that planted foot, come down, sink down into that squat. And then as we press up, we're going to press up with our shoulders lifting up to the sky. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. All right, and that's halfway. Let's get the other side. Okay, this one's pretty straightforward. We're just going to into our split squats with some elevation. So I'm going to plant one foot on the bench. So I want the top of the foot on the bench. The other foot is planted firmly in the ground in front of us. I want to make sure that I'm hinging forward at the hips with a nice straight spine. I'm going to let my weights hang by my side, and then I'm going to drop down, pulse twice, and then press up through my heel. Nice work. Let's switch sides. Okay, I love this one. We're going to get a total arm smash, and we're going to add some core in there as well. So I'm coming to my bench in a seated position. I'm going lengthwise. I have 15-pound dumbbells in hand, and then I want to just keep my arms tucked into my side as I bring my dumbbells behind my head, and then I'm coming up for a reverse curl. So I'm lowering my dumbbells to my hips and then just past the bench as I curl up with a nice strong core, keeping your spine nice and straight. All right, this one is a compound move, so you might want to pause me and just kind of check it out, or just do parts of the move if you'd like. So I'm going to start in a high plank. I'm going in for a triple knee crunch. So I'm going to crunch my knee to the arm on the same side, so the back of that arm, then go inside across my body to the opposite arm, and then tap the arm on the same side once more. From there, I'm going to go into like a little bit of a down dog. I'm going to lift that same leg. I'm going to open up my hip by bending the knee, and then I'm going to gently fall across my body, plant that foot down on the ground on the opposite side, and then I'm going to press up as if you're going in for a bridge press. I'm going to look towards my hand, lower slow, and then repeat. That was a lot. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. All right, here we go. We are going into a push-up with an alternating split crouch. We're gonna land in that crouching position. So I'm going in for a narrow push-up. Elbows are coming behind me, nice straight spine. Modified, you're gonna drop those knees to the ground and then come back up to plank before you jump to your hands. So I'm coming into my push-up, pressing up, and then I'm going to just, with my momentum, I'm going to jump my feet up. So I'm gonna go into a staggered stance, and then push up again, and then we'll alternate that staggered stance. We're here for the minute. Okay, in this one we're going to start from sitting, and we're going to lower into a full extension with one dumbbell overhead. And then as we sit up, we're going to tuck our left foot under our right knee and plant our right foot on the ground out in front. And then from there, we're going to thrust our hips forward as we chop our dumbbell across our body to the opposite hip and then back up. If this is too much for you guys right now, we're just going to go on both knees, and we're going to do that chopping movement without the hip thrust. Okay, that's halfway. Same thing, other side. All right, let's go. Next up, we're going to start from standing. We're going to hinge forward at the hips, keeping a strong core until our chest faces the floor and our weight swing back, engaging the triceps. And then next, we're going to step into a reverse lunge as I curl my weights up, keeping the elbows tucked in. I'm doing 30 seconds on one side here, but feel free to alternate sides. Nice work, that's halfway. Great job so far. Go grab some water and then come back for the last portion of the workout. All right, here's a fun little one that's going to wind us. We're gonna go in for a narrow push-up. Elbows come straight back, nice straight spine, strong core. So lower that chest down in between your hands, and then as you press up, we're going to bring one foot across our body, extend that leg, and then we're gonna tap the hand on the opposite side nice and high. We're gonna do 30 seconds on one side. Right on. We are halfway. Let's switch sides. Okay, some more ab action. So this one is actually a lot harder than it looks, but we're gonna try it anyway. So in a seated position, nice proud chest. We're gonna hinge forward at the hips, walking our hands out in front, and then we're just really keeping our legs straight. We're gonna come in for 2 or 3 pulses, lifting our legs off of the ground, keeping them nice and straight. And then if that's too much right now, we'll just lift them one at a time. Okay, we're going in for a side lunge, curtsy, and then we're gonna drop and then get up. So we're gonna step wide. All of the weight is in the inside of the foot on that planted leg as we go in for that lateral lunge. And then from there, we're gonna step that same foot behind us and wide, dropping into curtsy, and then we're gonna lower our butt. You might wanna use your hands to support you until your butt touches the ground. And then really all of that weight is in that front foot as we press up and go back into our lateral lunge. 30 seconds on one side. All right, nice job. Let's switch sides. Okay, we are going in for our windshield wipers. I'm using the wall here just to make sure that my form is on point. And then I like to grab the mat beside my hips just to keep me from rocking too much. So legs are straight. And then as you can see, I'm gonna drop my legs slowly to one side without them touching the ground, and then use my abdominal muscles to pull my legs back up. right, let's go into our wall corkscrew taps from a bear position. So you don't need the wall for this one. If you just want to stay on the floor from bear, you just won't have that elevation. It's all good. So I'm starting with a 90-degree bend at the knees, or just hovering, a nice straight spine. And then from that bear position, I'm just going to slightly jump and nice and light on my feet, jump up so my feet are on the wall, and then just little jumps in between. I'm going to twist at the torso in each direction, getting that nice squeeze in the obliques. All right, this next one isn't overly complicated, but I find it really tough for some reason. Maybe you won't. I need a lighter dumbbell for this one because I'm extending my lever further from my midline. So I'm starting in a nice high plank, and then I'm just, as you can see, I'm just activating the shoulders. I'm gonna lift forward, lower slow, and then bring my dumbbell out wide to the side, lower slow. If you find this a little bit easier, you can drop to your knees. And there's the halfway mark, so let's switch arms. Okay, for this next one, we're going to be in a high plank. We don't need a dumbbell, but you'll need an object out in front, and then a medicine ball or any ball will work really. So I'm coming into high plank. I'm just going to do one arm at a time, keeping my core nice and stabilized. I'm just rolling the ball around my dumbbell or whatever object you have in one direction and then the next. We'll do 30 seconds on one side. Good job. Let's switch arms. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this next one is going to wind you, and it's new for me, so the form isn't perfect, but you'll get the idea. So I'm gonna start with a medicine ball in hand, keep that at my chest, and then I'm gonna lean back into that V-sit, engaging my core. From there, I'm going to toss my ball up to the sky, get a quick tap with the hands down to the floor as I tuck my knees in. You'll wanna make sure you're paying attention so you don't take a ball to the face. Okay, for this one, we're going to lower down into our sumo squat. So from a wide stance, toes are pointed out, weight in the heels. We're gonna lower down, and then from there, we're going to slowly lift and lower our heels twice. And then once we're done that, we're just going to turn our knees inwards one at a time, getting the hips. And then if you can make contact with the ground, awesome. And then come up and repeat. And I saved the best for last in this one. So we are going into our push-up with a forearm drop and then pressing up to child's pose. So coming into our push-up, chest in between hands. We're gonna stay in that low position, and then we're gonna bend at the elbows, bringing our forearms to the ground, and then come back to that plank position, press up, and then push our butt back towards our ankles for that child's pose. You might wanna hang out there for a little bit and repeat. If you want modified, you're gonna do that on your knees. All right, we crushed that one. That was a little bit of a tougher one, but we're here. So grab some water, come back, a couple minutes of stretching, and you'll be on your way. All right, let's stretch out the hips and the back of our legs. So we are going to go into that figure four. So I'm placing one ankle on top of the opposite knee, making that four figure. And then I'm going to lower down into a squat, single leg squat, hinging forward, bringing my chest towards the floor. 30 seconds on one side. All right, that's halfway. Let's switch legs. Okay, step back into that reverse lunge, and you're gonna press the back hip forward. So you should feel that all throughout the front of that back leg, and then you're gonna pull your arm across your body, getting that nice stretch in the back of your arm, and then after about 15 seconds, we are going to lift that elbow, pull our elbow back, and we should feel that stretch also on the side and the back of our arm. 30 seconds on one side, and we're actually about to switch. All right, let's stretch out the groin. So I'm coming onto my knees and then just bringing them as wide apart as you can. And then we're gonna splay those feet wide apart too. How far you go is dependent on your flexibility level. And then I am just going to slowly rock my butt back and forth, and you'll feel that right away in the groin. You wanna feel tension, not pain. All right, and this last stretch really feels like more of a treat than anything. We are coming in for cat-cow, so inhale, we're going to look up to the ceiling. We're gonna arch our back, exhale, rounding our spine, looking to our belly button, and then we'll just go at our own pace with your breath. And the end is here. You guys absolutely killed it. I found that one tough. I don't know about you, and I'm super glad it's over. Feeling great. I hope you guys are too. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.